Okay, we're back at it. I got it patched, as you can see. Normally, I'll just put a new tube in it because I have spare tubes. But since I'm at home, I'll just go ahead and patch it. So, before you put the tube back in the tire, make sure you got air, some kind of air in the tire, in the tube here. So when you slip it back into position and you try to put the tire back on the wheel, you don't pinch it when you're putting the bead back on the wheel. So it fits, you know, nice and snug inside. So I'll stop here. I'll start here at the valve stem. Just put it in place. That's all I'm doing right now. And then once I get it in place, then I'll wiggle the valve down through and pull the stem out. Now before I go any further, so the stem doesn't push back through, I always put a small wire tie on the stem to keep it in place. That way, when I do start to inflate it, stem doesn't push inside when I clamp onto the stem. There. Now, snug the tube down around. Should pop right down around pretty easy. You can use a little bit of lube. What I usually use, just a little bit of WD-40 around the bead, a little bit. Just to lube it up just a little. It doesn't take much. And then you use the two little tire things. By the way, this is a 33-gallon can, trash can. It just happens to be the same size as the tire and the wheel. So it makes it a lot easier than changing the tire on the floor. Work it all the way around. You can do this with one, slide it around, and then with the second one, slide it up underneath. Do a little bit at a time. Usually it's not too bad to get it in there. Some of them could be a pain. One with the heavy steel beads. These are the Kevlar bead. Still pretty strong, but not near as bad as the steel bead. There. Also, I use the WD-40. It allows the bead to pop all the way around when you inflate it. Where's my inflator? Oh, there it is. These tires take a maximum of 30 psi to pop the beads. But I usually run around 20, 25 pounds in them. You can see that. Make sure you check all the way around that little rim of rubber on both sides. Make sure it's seating correctly. Looks good, looks good. Bead's already seated because it's a used tire, so. Right there's 20, 25. That's it. Now, because I have multiple bikes, I can just leave it sit and see if it deflates. I doubt if it will, but usually it works out pretty good. So I usually don't have any issues when I fix one of the flats. So this bike's pretty easy to work on. So now we're going to put it back on the bike. And it's just as easy to put it back. Lift the chain. Oh, by the way, on your derailleur, make sure you put it in the highest gear so it goes back in a lot easier and drop into place. It just makes it a little bit easier. There we go. And all I have to do is tighten it up. What I want to do here, use a 17 millimeter to hold the axle still. I snug this one side up, keep the axle from spinning. Once that's in, then because the axle won't spin now, you can tighten the other one down. And that's pretty much it. Then to stand it back up on its wheel again, that's a little bit out. I have to re-loosen that. I don't like how it's looking. It looks like it's a little off. I don't like that. I don't like that. That's better. Yeah. That's better. And then to get it back up on its wheels again, let's go up to the front. Grab the front forks, lift it up. Tire hits. Use the clamp the rear brake at this time so it clamps still, and then just lower it down slowly, just like that, and you're good to go again to get another flat tire. Hope that helps somebody.